Hello, everyone, and welcome back to ESL Easy English, the podcast where we make grammar simple, stories engaging, and practice fun. I'm your host, Alison, and today we're going to explore the past perfect continuous tense. This tense might sound like a mouthful, but don't worry. It has a clear structure and a clear purpose. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to form it, when to use it, and how it's different from the past perfect simple and the past continuous. So, if you've ever wondered how to describe something that had been happening before another action in the past, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Part 1. What is the past perfect continuous tense? The past perfect continuous tense is used to describe actions that had been in progress for a period of time before another past action or past moment. Think of it this way. If you want to talk about the duration of an activity that was happening up until another event in the past, this is the tense you need. Here are a few examples. I had been studying for 2 hours before the exam started. She had been working at the company for 5 years when she got promoted. They had been playing football, so they were tired when I saw them. Do you hear it? It's always had been plus verb ending in ing. So remember this key idea. Past perfect continuous equals past activity before another past event. Part 2. Structure of the past. Perfect continuous tense. The structure is very clear. Subject plus had been plus verb, ending in ing. Let's break it down. I had been working. You had been listening. He, she, it had been reading. We had been playing. They had been cooking. And the good news? The auxiliary had doesn't change. It's the same for all subjects. Here are some examples. I had been reading for hours before the phone rang. She had been cooking all afternoon before the guests arrived. They had been waiting for 30 minutes before the bus finally came. Part 3. Negatives and questions. For negatives, we simply add not after had. Subject plus had not been plus verb, ending in ing. Here are some examples. I had not been sleeping well before the trip. They had not been studying enough before the exam. And in spoken English, we usually use the contraction hadn't been. I hadn't been feeling very well. For questions, we switch the order. Had plus subject plus been plus verb, ending in ing. Here are some examples. Had you been studying before the test? Had she been working there long before she left? Had they been waiting when you arrived? Part 4. When do we use the past perfect continuous tense? There are 3 main uses of the past perfect continuous tense. 1. To show the duration of an action before another past event. I had been living in London for 2 years before I moved to Paris. She had been working all day before she finally took a break. 2. To explain a cause or reason in the past. He was tired because he had been running. They were wet because they had been walking in the rain. 3. To emphasize repeated or continuous activity in the past. The students had been talking all lesson before the teacher arrived. We had been trying to call you for hours before you answered. So, duration, cause, and continuous repeated activity. That's the magic of the past perfect continuous tense. Part 5. Past perfect continuous tense versus past continuous tense. Let's compare these two. Past continuous. Action was in progress at a specific time, in the past. I was studying at 8 p.m. yesterday. Past perfect continuous tense. Action had been in progress for some time before another past event. I had been studying for 2 hours before the exam started. So, past continuous tense equals at that specific moment in the past. Past perfect continuous tense equals previous actions up until that past moment. Part 6. Past perfect continuous tense versus past perfect simple tense. This is another common confusion. Past perfect simple tense focuses on the result. I had finished my homework before dinner. Result equals finished homework. Past perfect continuous tense focuses on the activity or duration. I had been doing my homework for an hour before dinner. Focus equals the activity and time spent. So, result versus duration. Part 7. Time expressions with past perfect continuous tense. We often use these expressions with the past perfect continuous tense. For since, before, until, all day, all night, how long. Here are some examples. I had been waiting for an hour before the bus came. She had been working since the morning before she stopped for lunch. They had been arguing all day before they made peace. Part 8. Let's practice together. Okay. I will say a sentence, and then you repeat after me, shadowing style. I had been working all day before I took a break. She hadn't been sleeping well before the trip. Had they been studying before the test? We had been waiting for hours before the concert started. He had been running, so he was very tired. Now let's do a quick challenge. I'll say the past perfect simple tense sentence, and you change it to past perfect continuous tense. I had finished my homework before dinner. I had been doing my homework for an hour before dinner. She had learned English before she moved to Canada. She had been learning English for 2 years before she moved to Canada. They had worked hard before the exam. They had been working hard before the exam. Nice work! Part 9. Common mistakes to avoid. Here are some mistakes students often make with the past perfect continuous tense. Mistake 1. Forgetting been. Wrong. I had working all day. Right. I had been working all day. Mistake 2. Using the wrong auxiliary verb. Wrong. He has been studying before the exam. That's present perfect continuous tense. Right. He had been studying before the exam. Mistake 3. Confusing result with duration. Wrong. I had been finished my homework. Right. I had finished my homework. Result. Past perfect simple tense. So remember, past perfect continuous always equals had been plus verb ending in ing. Part 10. Recap and closing. Let's review what we have learned today. Structure, subject, plus had been, plus verb ending in ing. Negatives, subject plus hadn't been, had not, plus verb ending in ing. Questions, had plus subject plus been plus verb ending in ing. Uses, duration of action before a past event, cause and effect, continuous activity. Compare. Past continuous tense equals at a past moment. Past perfect continuous tense equals up until a past moment. Compare. Past perfect simple tense equals result. Past perfect continuous tense equals duration, activity. The past perfect continuous is a great tense for showing how long something had been happening before another event in the past. Thanks for joining me today on ESL Easy English. If you liked this lesson, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's learning English. We have a lot more grammar lessons coming, so please leave a comment below with the grammar point you find most difficult, and we'll cover it in a future episode. I'm Alison. Don't forget to buy us a coffee with the link in the description, and I'll see you next time. Happy studying!